Welcome back, everyone. I'm Hien Vu at Hood to Rich, and today we are reacting to the famous Being Ugly My Experience video. I want to make it very clear that we are not making fun of this young man. If anything, when I created this video, the direction that I want to take was as if I was listening to a friend open up to me and giving my feedback as if I'm just a friend. With that being said, this video can be a little tough to watch at times. It does get really sad and depressing, but stay tuned to the end because there is a happy ending. Before we get into that, please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to keep up with future content. All right, let's get into this. 3, 2, and 1.
I've been drinking a lot of this right now, so I'm sorta drunk, and I'm feeling really down, like extremely down, and I will tell you why. It's 'cause my entire life I've been treated quite bad. Just I feel really alone, and I felt like I was gonna search YouTube for people with the same issue as me, and that is being really unattractive. And I've been having lots of issues with that, because every video I come across is with a really attractive or normal person, and they have no idea how it really is. So first of all, right now I'm putting up quite of a show, so if you think that I look pretty good right now, it's because I'm doing my absolute best to show you that I look good. It's also the cam. So first of all,
it's not so bad.
my teeth are fucked up, and I'm pushing forward my jaw all the time. I have extremely much loose skin. This is nothing I can do anything about. I've been checking this a lot. I have so much loose skin, it makes me look terrible. I have a big forehead.
No, you don't.
And my hair is making me look really good, but if you would take away the hair, like, I got pretty bad posture, have a really big bulky nose, and my lower lip is a lot bigger than my higher lip. Like, my higher lip is normal, the rest is not. So I'm using my hair, I'm letting it grow out so it covers, and then I use a hat to hide my pan, my eyebrows. Everything is like, I do not look good. I've never in my entire life had anyone telling me I look good.
Okay, so I know we just started, but I think I see the issue here, and the issue is that I think you think you're more unattractive than you actually are. To be honest, I don't think you're that bad looking. For instance, your loose skin. If you hadn't pulled it out, I would have never noticed you had loose skin. Your hair, I personally think that you'd look better with a short cut, like a clean cut. But, you know, you're growing it out not because you think it looks good, but you're growing it out because you want to hide something that doesn't need to be hidden. And on top of that, with the cap, it just makes you look like you're hiding within yourself, you're retreating. And I think that speaks louder than your actual looks itself. And when it comes to you sticking out your jaw when you speak to make yourself look better, I think you look just fine. I think you should, if I'm guessing you have an overbite, you should just embrace that. I used to work with this guy back in the day, and he had a pretty severe overbite. And every time that we took pictures, he would stick out his jaw to almost hide his overbite. He looked really awkward in the photos because it's exactly that. He looked like he was sticking out his jaw. So instead of kind of looking like, you know, like the typical overbite, he would push out his jaw and smile in pictures like this. And you know what that does? It makes you look like you're doing this. So yeah, I think you're better off just owning what you look like. And I think personality truly does speak louder than looks. Anywho, let's move forward.
I may look quite bad, but there are people that have it hundreds times worse. So I'm not comparing myself to the worst of the worst. I'm just here to tell my story because I know lots of people on YouTube, they are like looking on these, they're trying to find someone to relate to, and they can't, because every person in the video is a girl, or it's a guy that looks decently alright, like he doesn't have a big nose or big lips or anything. He doesn't. It's always something.
Okay. With that being said, is it possible that in the same way that you think these YouTubers are more attractive than they think, is it possible that you are also more attractive than you think? Kind of just echoing what I said. Because honestly, you're not that bad looking, man. You're not.
Let me start off by telling you the story of how I started getting called ugly. So I had a very big trouble having friends as younger. Everyone always avoided me, found ways to get rid of me, and I sorta didn't care back then. And I got some friends when I was maybe 12 to 13, and they were like 16 to 18, beautiful alpha males, and like they were the first ones to start calling me ugly. And that was quite a shady neighborhood, so it's like they were with me because my mom gave them cigarettes and stuff, so they were like my guardians, sort of. And they were the first people to call me ugly.
Right. So, from my experience, living pretty much my whole life in the ghetto, anyone that sells loose cigarettes is a pretty sketchy person. Now, I don't want to judge her mom, but if she's selling loose cigarettes, I'm gonna go ahead and guess that she probably isn't the most kind and supportive mother there could be. You're selling loose cigarettes to teenage boys, right? And teenage boys that are buying loose cigarettes probably aren't the most kind people as well. I feel like you didn't have a proper environment to build up your confidence. I don't know. Let's listen to what else you have to say.
And I ended up in school. I remember first time I started, I was never like caring about girls. Girls were like meh. Because I remember being young, they chased around the other guys at the schoolyard, and they were like pretending like the girls were trying to kiss the boys and the guys were like ew. And I remember how they all chased each other and no one chased me, so I was just standing there being like, what the fuck? I guess there's something wrong with me. I was like the only one at that time that was like, oh, I sort of wish a girl would chase me, but that didn't happen. So yeah,
I hear ya. And I'm someone that never really thought I was unattractive, and I've been through very similar situations as well, right? I never really got to dance with anyone at the school dances. I didn't have my first girlfriend until I was like 17. So I don't know. I think you blame a lot on your looks, when I think it has to do with your confidence, because I wasn't always the most confident person, and even now I struggle with it, right? But when someone is confident, you really do notice it. So
I should just cut to the chase. When I was 15, I started liking girls, like being interested in girls, and God, this is so difficult. This is so difficult making, because I'm also drunk and I don't really know if I want to make this. I'm trying to do this anyway. So okay, wait. I need to get into the okay, so when I was 15, I realized that I wanted to have love in my life. I was 15 years when I realized I wanted that. And like the amount of people that rejected me is astonishing. It's unexplainable. I remember I was 15, I went to school, I was socially inactive, I was a bit overweight. That's where all this comes from, because I was a little bit on the overweight side. So I was a bit heavier, not much heavier, but I was heavier. And let's see, I think the total sum from when I was 15 to 17 was well over 400 or 500 girls that I wrote with, that I tried to get into a relationship with. And
okay, so 400 or 500 girls. Good job for having the confidence to put yourself out there, to be open to rejection. I assume when you say you wrote these girls, it means you approached them online. And I guess approaching women online is a lot easier than approaching them face to face. That being said though, I feel like you saying that you've been rejected 400 or 500 times, you're using that to kind of justify your bad looks. But it's like, the truth is, you know, most guys get rejected. It's true. And the reason why most guys don't get rejected as much as you is because maybe they're doing it a little more traditional, face to face. And when you do that, the rejection hurts a lot more. And so it happens far less. So even though I've never been rejected anywhere near 400 or 500 times, I have been rejected. And I think, have I put myself out there 400 or 500 times? No. But the times that I have, I was rejected more often than I wasn't. I don't know. There's just some facts that need to be weighed, I guess.
That's not normal girls. I've never gone for the normal attractive girls. I knew from the start, like, they are not for me. I tried to write with girls, and I wrote with girls that were overweight, that didn't look so good. Some of them had a big nose like me, some had big lips, some had shorter hair.
Great strategy. We've all been there, bro. Like, I've gone for 2s, 3s, 4s. All my guys friends I've known have gone for 2s, 3s, and 4s. I just want you to feel bad for you going for 2s, 3s, and 4s. Just wanted to put that out there.
And every single one called me ugly. Every single one. And some of them were straight up honest with it and said that you're not my type or you're ugly. That's like, you know, if someone says you're not my type, that's the nicest way someone can say that you're ugly.
I don't agree.
Always heard, you're not my type. So that's something I heard a lot. And after 2 years, I gave up. I simply gave up totally. And
that breaks my heart, man. That breaks my heart.
When I gave up, I started to care more about writing with people who had it difficult, who were sad, and like, who didn't have it easy. And that's when I first met the first girl in my life that wanted to be with me.
Now, I've seen this video already. Don't get excited. This girl is the devil. I would fight her. I don't condone violence against women, but this girl, I would fight.
And I spent 7 years with that girl, and I regret it very much, because that was a girl that treated me so badly and was just using me. She called me ugly. She forced me to walk 5 to 10 meters behind her. She never held my hand. She never kissed me. She never did anything to show appreciation of me. She just simply used me. And it was not a good relationship. She never cared about me. She was always angry, aggressive. And for the first half year, she didn't really want to be in an actual relationship with me. She just wanted to be with me. We had sex and we had fun, I guess, sorta. Except when we went outside, when I was forced to go behind her. And then we went into a relationship, and she did everything for, I think it was 3 or 4 years. She forgot my birthday. She was cheating on me. She was flirting with other guys online. I always did everything I could. When I gave her 20 minutes massages on her back every day, even though I was sick, but I gave it my all. I tried to be a good boyfriend. I bought her presents when I had money. I spent my time with her. I altered my personality for her so she wouldn't feel that it was weird. I tried my best to be the perfect I could, and she always told me, you're not enough, or like, you're not good enough, or things like that. She always told me that. And this is how it was for about 3 years, or 4 years.
We accept the love we think we deserve, and it honestly breaks my heart hearing this, you know? Just having to walk behind her, 10, 15 feet because she didn't want to be seen with you in public? Ooh, I think your biggest problem is that you identify your whole self with your unattractiveness, your ugliness, and you're so much more than that. The way you act, you're moving like an ugly person. And when I say you're moving like an ugly person, I mean you're acting like an ugly person. And what does that mean? Does that just mean you're ugly and you're just being you? No, it means you've taken on this identity that you are this ugly person, and you've accepted everything that you think an ugly person deserves, and that includes love. Which is why you let this girl treat you the way she did for so long, and that's not right. You deserve to be with a girl that wants to hold your hand down the street.
Then I moved, and she didn't move with me. She was like, it's not worth it. If you move, it's over. So I moved, it was over.
Good.
And then she started calling me and being like, you should take me back because you are unlovable. I remember those words so clearly. You are unlovable. That's the worst thing I ever felt, and I was like...
Okay, two things. Don't you fucking dare take her back. Like, don't you fucking dare. She is a stank-ass witch and an evil-ass bitch. Fuck her. Secondly, don't you listen to her. Absolutely not. Like, you're unlovable. Like, that is the meanest thing you could say to someone. Like, fuck you. If anyone is unlovable, it's her. Telling other people they're unlovable. Whatever she looks like, even if she's attractive, I bet you her insides are rotten to the core. I'm Vietnamese. It's really popular in Vietnamese cuisine, and that's fish sauce. Fish sauce essentially is fermented anchovy sauce. It tastes really good, but it smells like schmegma. She's not just that on the inside. She is fish sauce mixed with pee, just stirred up in a pot in the sun with the lid on and cooking for 3-5 years. And when you open the lid and you go, ooh, that's how she smells, and that's what she is in the inside. Fuck her.
Then I was like, screw this.
That's right. Good for you.
And I was alone in a cabin in the middle of nowhere in the woods for 4 to 5 months, all alone. And she called me, it was after like a few weeks, the first month. She was like, take me back, you're unlovable, you should be with me. I was like, nope.
Good for you.
And that's the first time I started writing again with new girls. It had been 3 years, or almost 4.
Free bird, baby, free bird.
I had lost weight.
Looking good,
I
feeling
had
good.
Started exercising more.
Good for you.
I was a bit stronger. Things were a little bit easier. I lived in that cabin, and I started writing with new people in my area. I managed to find a girl there.
Hey.
And by that time, I met her. We were just friends. It was chill. She was actually a terrible human being. She was like, she only cared about money, how people look. She wanted to have a guy that took care of her and all that. So I didn't really feel anything for her. We were just friends. But in the end, she was 17 and I was 20. So it was like sort of... And she then one time visited me in the woods. She spent her night with me. And we laughed, we drank, we had fun, and we had sex. And that's the first time I felt accepted I felt like I had hope in my life. I really felt like there is hope for me. Like there's someone for everyone. I really felt like there are people that will look past your appearance, and that's sorta right. There are people out there who will look past how you look and be with you even if you're unattractive. And it doesn't even matter to what degree of unattractive you are, because there will be girls that will not really care. The problem is finding them, which is I would say that depends on the country. If you're in a country with extremely lots of tourism, extremely good economy, everyone are decently rich, like everyone are decently beautiful, all that, maybe it's time to look into future plans and move to another place where you can find more unattractive people, because that's sort of what you want.
As much as I hate to admit it, I think I think you might be right. Moving might be an option at that point, especially if you're like from a small town. I live in Toronto. If I'm not doing too well with the girls in my neighborhood, I could literally just go 2 blocks over and everyone from that neighborhood wouldn't know who I am and wouldn't know anyone from my own neighborhood. So yeah, I could meet like a fresh new batch of girls if I really wanted to. If you were in a small town and you get shit-faced one night, from now on you're known as the fucking town drunk or the town Quasimodo in this case, you know? Yeah, moving might have to be an option if that's your circumstance.
Anyway, this girl and I was friends a few weeks, and or were well friends with benefits, and then we sort of broke contact and stuff. She was one of those people that were like, I get bored of people easily, so it was like, so we didn't really stay friends. Anyway, after that time, I sort of got really annoyed of being alone, and my ex wanted to come and visit me.
No, don't do it.
The girl I was with for all those years that treated me so bad.
Nah, don't do it.
And I was so weak, so I said okay. And I spent another 3 or 4 it was about 3 years. I've spent 7 total with her, so it was about 3 more years with her. And those years sort of improved quite a lot. They were a lot better than the first 3 years, so it wasn't that bad. But it didn't work out because I was so unhappy. I was extremely unhappy. It felt like we had nothing in common. She was always angry, moping, complaining, and she didn't feel good and I didn't feel good. We were just tearing each other down. I couldn't forget all
Kick her to
all
the
things
curb.
in the past. And like we had nothing in common except just being angry on each other. So we broke up, and that was about 5 months ago now. And I moved past everything quite easily. So 1 month ago, after we broke up, I started to try and date again. And the bombardment of you are ugly or not my type was so unreal. I can tell you a few things that I've been through. I've met people that are girls that are extremely overweight and don't look well as well, and they tell me, you're not my type, you're way too ugly, or they make up an excuse like, oh, you didn't text me the same day, I can't have you as a contact, and they do anything to get rid of you. And then there was this time when I had a date with a girl, and I had spent lots of money on making a perfect day together, like I had set up everything perfectly, and I went on the subway over an hour, and I stood on the train station, and I looked for her for 2 hours before I was like, okay, she gave up. And then I went home, and then she wrote that when she saw me, I was so ugly, she didn't have the encouragement to talk to me.
Yo, that makes me so fucking sad. Like, bro, like seriously, that makes me so sad.
So where am I standing in this all right now? Extremely depressed, extremely sad, feeling like giving up.
Don't.
I have sort of given up a lot on many things, and all these events through the years have made that I haven't been able to live a normal life, because my friends were commenting on me not looking good, my family's been commenting on it, everyone's always pointing it out, and I get so frustrated, sad when people look away. They are like, no, we don't want a guy like you as our friend, like and I'm currently in a situation where I'm waiting for plastic surgery, because that's the only way, and I'm telling you this right now, if you're unattractive, the only way for you to get a normal life is to work, earn up money, or go to the hospital, get psychiatric help, and if it's severe enough, they will give you free surgery or whatever. Get the surgery so you look better. You don't have to be a model, just get the flaws out. That's my conclusion, because this is something
I don't agree. I don't think surgery is the only option. I don't think it should be the first option. I think you should learn to love yourself no matter how big your flaws are. If you fix this flaw that you see, there's always going to be another flaw if you don't address it at its roots. One day it's your teeth and you fix your teeth, and the next day it's your eyes, and you get surgery on your eyes, and the next day I think it just leads, one thing leads to another. Once you learn how to accept yourself and love yourself for the way you are, I think the desire to get plastic surgery no longer is there.
That's my conclusion, because this is something I've been suffering with for about 11 years, I think, if not more. 11 years I've been suffering with this. I've never in my entire life gotten a single compliment that's been real. Everyone has always just used me. I've heard so many times, you're funny, you're doing this and that, that's nice. Like, personality is one thing. When it comes to love, at least for me, in the place I live, only matters how you look. If by any chance you guys will like this, whoever watches it, if even anyone watches it, I don't know. Hope it goes better for you.
That was tough to watch. That was heartbreaking to listen to. And it's sad because the person that finds you most unattractive is yourself. And that's the root of this problem. I can't stress it enough that you accept the love that you think you deserve. Contrary to what you said towards the end, I think when it comes to love, personality matters most. And your personality is that of someone who has accepted that they are nothing more than their unattractiveness, their ugliness. And so you've retreated within yourself. You grow your hair out to hide your face. You use your cap to cover your forehead. You push out your jaw to hide your overbite. Everything about you is hiding yourself. Because you can't look past your flaws, you've lost your confidence. Women say all the time that they love a man that's confident, and so yeah, I guess that's kind of important when it comes to dating. And I think it's more important than looks. You say that people say you're funny, so that's a bonus. From what I see, you seem like a kind, compassionate, reflective person. So the personality is great. You just have to be able to give yourself some credit. If you can just look past your flaws and carry yourself like a person that is confident in being who they are, I think you'll do a lot better with ladies. With all that being said, for all those watching this video, there is a happy ending. There's a happy ending, so don't be sad. The last time I checked, he appears to be in a happy relationship with a very attractive young lady who seems like she's a very sweet girl. The video that I reacted to, the original video, has completely gone viral. I think it has over 11 million views. His channel has taken off. His channel's called Never Give Up, so there you go, he never gave up. Side note, don't ever give up, because hey, look, go over to his channel, subscribe, like, comment. If he has merch, buy his merch. Do everything you can to support him, because it takes a lot of courage to share his story, especially a story like that. And clearly he's gone through a lot, so let's do everything we can. Go over there, check him out. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to keep up with future content. I'm Hien at Hood to Rich, and thanks for watching.